Hello everyone! She is the renowned Psychic-type gym leader from the Kanto region, and we all remember her gym, located adjacent to the Saffron City Fighting Dojo, which was once guarded by a Team Rocket member until Giovanni left the Silph Co building. In the anime, it was with the help of a haunter from Lavender Town's Pokémon Tower that Ash managed to earn Sabrina's badge. Today, we're going to take on the role of this trainer to see if she could have defeated the Kanto Pokémon League in the Pokémon Gold and Silver games. Let's not forget about the creation of the tier list, which ranks the trainers of the region based on their performance. Losing at the first level would be a rather sad outcome, wouldn't it? So, we're equipping ourselves with Sabrina's second-generation team, which consists of only 3 Pokémon. The first one didn't exist in the red and blue versions. It's Espeon, the Psychic-type evolution of Eevee. This Pokémon knows moves like Sand Attack and Quick Attack, and it benefits from the Psychic Attack, likely learned in Saffron City from Mr. Psychic's house. The second Pokémon is Mr. Mime, a familiar face in the anime, where he plays a fatherly role to Ash back in Pallet Town. Mr. Mime has also the move Psychic, and it has moves to protect itself given its relatively low defense. This tendency to have a low defense is common among Psychic Pokémon, and it can also utilize Bat and Pass, a move banned in competitive play in later generations. Finally, we have Sabrina's signature Pokémon, Alakazam, the evolution of Kadabra. Alakazam was a powerhouse in the first generation, but here, unfortunately, it has very limited coverage outside of its Psychic-type moves. Obviously, it has Psychic and Future Sight, which became incredibly useful in competitive play during Generation 8, and it does retain some utility with moves like Recover and Protect. Now, you may have noticed the major flaw with this team. I certainly have, especially at higher levels. But let's dive into the challenge and get started. As always, we begin by facing Will, who leads with Xatu. We start with Espeon, taking advantage of its accuracy-lowering move to potentially make Xatu miss its attacks. Once Alakazam enters the battle, the true duel begins. As you can see, Alakazam's Psychic attack brings Xatu down in 2 hits, while Xatu barely scratches our Pokémon. The second attack finishes it off, and now we face Xatu's twin cousin at level 42. The 2-level difference doesn't change much. We can dispatch it in 2-3 moves. Next up is a Pokémon that greatly benefited from this game's use of color, and with a pleasant surprise, it looks like a sweep from our team. It's another 2-hit knockout, though we're left with only 38 HP after battling the 3rd Pokémon. Thankfully, with Recover, we can regain half our HP and continue without much worry. Psychic once again proves effective against the tropical Pokémon, with a Dragon-type addition introduced in Generation 7. We have 2 Psychic moves left to deal with Slowbro, a Pokémon known for its bulk and boosting moves. Unfortunately, we're down to our last attack, so we'll need to be patient. After some strategizing and healing during the waiting of Future Sight, we hope to manage to secure a 6-0 win. It would be solid start. Unfortunately, it is not enough, and after feeling 2 body slams on its face, Alakazam comes back to its Pokeball. We can call back Espeon, which will ensure the victory with Swift. Congratulations, the first fight is won, against a trainer with the same type as us, and we can proceed in the league. It feels good because it has been a while a gym leader did manage to get to this stage. We heal our wounds, and then we can fight Koga, an old co-worker who, unfortunately, doesn't have the best team to counter us. Espeon steps up again, and with a single Psychic, Ariados is sent scurrying back to its web. The next Pokemon, Forretress, resists our attacks, so we resort to Sand Attack, which proves ineffective when Forretress uses its Meteor Mash unaffected by accuracy drops. Still, Psychic proves powerful enough to potentially 2-HKO it, allowing us to remove the threat before it can explode. We remain at full strength with all 3 Pokémon intact. Crobat is next, and another Psychic attack quickly disposes of it. With only 2 Pokémon left, one of them is Janine's Pokémon, Venomoth. Psychic's super effective nature against poison types ensures a quick victory. Lastly, Muck comes in, but it's no match for our team. Koga is defeated thanks to a sweep from Espeon. Now, we want to see other Pokémon, so for the next battle, we're going to put Mr. Mime in the spotlight. Bruno sends out his Hitmontop, and on the switch, it uses its usual dig move. Since we're faster, we can set up a Reflect to reduce physical damage, and as a result, Dig only deals 13 points of damage. That's it, we can finally attack. And with a simple Psychic, the most balanced early game evolution is knocked out. Next up is Onix, which isn't exactly known for having a strong special stat. So, the classic pattern: Psychic, 1-shot, Hitmonchan, Psychic, 1-shot, Machamp, Psychic, 1-shot, Hitmontop, Psychic. Oh wait, it gets off a Mach Punch first, which has priority. Then, Psychic, one shot. Bruno's Pokemon got obliterated, while all the Pokemon on our team are almost at full health, except for Alakazam, who fainted once against the league's tankiest type. Well, the tankiest type so far because the 4th league trainer has a type that was brand new at the time. The Dark type, created specifically to counter Psychic types. Will our Pokemon be able to take her down? We're about to find out. Let's kick things off with a little duel of evolutions. I'd even call it a second-generation evolution showdown because there's nothing more Eevee-esque than Umbreon and Espeon. Incidentally, they share a lot of moves like Sand Attack and Quick Attack. Here, we have Swift, while Umbreon prefers Feint Attack, which can't miss and is Stab for it. As you can see at the start of the battle, we only have one move that can hit Umbreon, and it's very weak. Meanwhile, it can confuse us and lower our accuracy, though the latter doesn't really matter here. Unfortunately, we just keep using Swift as much as possible, but eventually, it'll attack us, which spells the end. It would take an enormous amount of luck to defeat this Pokemon, luck that drops to 0 once our Espeon is down. Indeed, Mr. Mime has no moves that can hit the Dark Pokemon, which means we'd have to burn through all its PP to use Struggle. The same problem applies to Alakazam. So, we can confidently say that the journey ends here for our Psychic-type specialist. And even if, by some miracle, or I don't know, an alignment of planets by Palkia, Umbreon were to fall, Houndoom is lurking nearby and can wipe out the team in 2 or 3 hits. So, in summary, Karen creates her own tier, and we can answer the question posed by this video. No, she couldn't become the champion, at least not with this generation's setup. The lack of variety in her moves is really her biggest weakness, which is a shame given the level of her Pokemon, and so her journey ends here, prematurely. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I encourage you to subscribe and leave a comment to let me know if you think Blaine will make it or not. I love chatting in the comments, whether it's for a philosophical debate or just to hear the best jokes. So don't hold back. See you soon for more adventures. Au revoir.